fast.
Let's go, bro. Game kedua.
Interesting. They both
Onic
just end up
Philippines.
defaulting. It's like, all right, we're both going to be playing for the carries, cowboy.
Match point ya buat
It's a
Onic.
Mexican standoff in Manila.
Okay.
It's a Manila standoff.
And if we're talking about carries,
Kita lihat aja, bro ya.
I think Onic trumps AP Bren because there's only one real carry for the Hive, right?
Yeah, they have two. And then your other carry, the Leomord for AP Bren, is conditional. Either he has an early game or you don't feel him until late game.
And the early game is going to depend on whether or not Prince and Bruce go replicate what happened in game 1 again.
Here we go. The Hive up against the ropes. The Super Famine match point. Game number 2 in week 3's opener.
Game number 2.
Okay.
Ah, smart. KLVJ knew that Kirk wanted to cut, so he got off the initial spring of damage on him. Yeah. But he's still going to be able to cut this without a problem. At this point, it's going to be hard to maneuver that glue.
There you go again. Kimi Khalid in mid as expected. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Kiel.
Kirk's actually handling this pretty well.
2v1!
Oh,
He has to go back.
so close.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Hans is also very familiar with his trade.
Yeah, the glue guy. Oh wait, Nova. Oh, that's where you want it to be! In the first minute of the game.
Oh, Nova, not like that, sir, not like that.
Okay, Cho into the... Okay, he has the crowd control, he has the mobility, but the damage output from Onic now is kind of more painful.
That's the Khalid
And the Kimi.
and the Kimi together. And I think Onic burned through the mana of Aqua. Oh, is he gonna steal it? Oh, he stole it!
Grab that purple by King Kong!
King Kong.
And he walks away!
And he walks away laughing. Kirk laughing as well. King Kong, stellar. He might end up becoming match MVP if they win this.
Yeah, this is Flying Clouds, by the way, but that's not gonna help AP Bren. Up against this rotational speed we're seeing from Onic. Oh, what?
Oh my lord. Something to note, Kirk has sub 60 heart rate.
Yeah.
Look at that, he's so chill right now.
He's the nonchalant guy. I thought he was less nonchalant in the previous days or the previous months, but you see it in game. He's still that same guy, you know.
Scientifically nonchalant.
Scientifically nonchalant.
King Kong and Super Friends are currently working out their cardio lightly at 120 plus.
Oh, Kirk using his ultimate already. Oh, this is such a low effort from Onic again. Especially now that they're on this kind of XP lane.
Okay, considering that this might be the same story, James? Alright, close call. Considering this might be the same story as game 1. Please don't flicker sideways!
Flicker sidestep, but I think it was a second bit too late.
Yeah, no, but the problem is, James Banks is gonna lose his orange and he's not even level 4 yet.
Yeah, but early Sky Piercer for Super Friends as well.
This is worse than game 1. They had the hopes of maybe Shizo coming online. They had James Banks at least farming. Now, they got nothing.
Oh, Traction Pulse. LVJ. Oh, this is not the kind of gameplay you're used to seeing from the King.
Glue is not a playmaking hero.
He's just running away.
Yeah, he's not, which is why we leaned onto the idea that...
That's the first stack.
Yeah, that's a stack on the Sky Piercer Super Friends. He rushed that. That's why we were posing the idea that that's most likely a roam glue already.
Yeah.
We accepted it, and then Kirk can just end up with something more bombastic, like the Lapu Lapu, the Phoveus, the Yuzhong, excuse me, the Phoveus that we mentioned.
This is not too bombastic. So bombastic.
Yikes. And Onic are winning XP. They've 100% won the center of the map in the jungle. Severo is handling the trade in the gold lane really well. He has a 2-level gap over Shizo.
KLVJ's heart rate's twice that of Kirk, by the way. Oh, Raging Sandstorm onto Nova. Still commits the flicker and the way of the dragon. Now here comes James Pass. This might just be a turnaround for AP Bren. They find the kill on Super Prince in exchange of Nova, and Aqua actually finds a double. But James Pass will have to go down just the same. Severo joining the fight. A triple for King Kong. KLVJ's here, but can they still find more? It's King Kong and Severo who still uses the flicker to get away.
Here comes Nova off the flying clouds. Gets that kick on the King Kong, knocking him up. Once more, KLVJ coming in. 2 members of Onic.
That's a tanky Baksha who just walked away.
All right.
And he survives. 2-level gap, 4 kills under his name. That looked really good for AP Bren. But Onic feel it and King Kong knows. They have
Onic
control,
masih
they
beda
have the lead.
3.600 ya bang ya.
Okay.
The Hive come alive for maybe a second, given that James Banks got his ult, couple of kills for Aqua, but that lasted, but just as quickly as it came through.
It didn't slow down Onic at all.
Another stolen buff! James Banks is getting his lunch money stolen.
Yeah. Has a purple, but he won't be able to get his orange.
Oh my goodness, what?
And Kirk is keeping. Oh, that's Shades of the general right there.
I've seen this before from an escalator from Onic.
Okay, now he might get punished. Has the Purify though? Can he get away? No! He's left for a bit longer, but that's for members of AP Bren.
Imagine the time Kirk bought for Savero up top, for Super Prince in mid, for the rest of the map to freeze, just for AP Bren to pay attention to him.
Yeah, Savero has 4,000 gold, 1,500 over Shizo, 900 plus. Actually, make that 1,000 plus over the highest gold earner right now in Onic, which is Aqua's Juicin. James Banks is just about to cross the 3,000 threshold. Whatever happened in the last 2 weeks for Onic has been stellar.
Yeah.
The pick into the Uranus, the cut, dominating KLVJ. He shouldn't have taken that trade behind the tower, by the way.
They had one hell of a holy week, I'll tell you that much.
The speed at which Onic is going right now reminds me so much of level 15, the level 15 challenge for King Kong.
9 minutes was it?
The 9-minute level 15 challenge for King Kong, and right now he's a level 10, but it just goes to show how fast things are happening for Onic, even despite this lineup, which we thought would slow them down a bit. It's still the same, even with the Uranus in the EXP lane.
Yeah, again, we have to amount it to how Nova ended up getting misplayed early on. That early death should not have happened. Another stolen buff. Because of that, they can't protect their own jungle because Nova has to protect James Banks in the purple wherever he is to try and get farm. And he's going to be 3 levels behind. But he's not that far off of the threshold. He's going to be hitting level 9, so I think it's still going to be a 2-level gap.
6,000 approaching. Onic keeping up the pressure. Savero holding on to this turtle. That's a purple take for King Kong, who builds his cauldron. That's it. Even if, let's say, Shizo gets there, he'll even struggle to take down King Kong.
King Kong always goes in first. Oh no.
Seems like the early glue pick is the curse of AP Bren this series. They thought they could make magic with it, but apparently not. The Baksha is more than enough to deal with it, the speed that it has. How Brusco and Super Friends has played the trade against Aqua and Nova throughout the series, completely diffing them in mid.
It's a flex, but it doesn't provide the same level of, I don't know, flexibility that the other flex picks.
I think we're reminded why glue works best if it's picked as one of the last picks.
Exactly, it happened again. This glue is picked blue 2 and 3.
Aqua.
This is a learning to walk away from, definitely.
Okay.
There goes my diamonds. I predicted AP Bren have solved their hero pool issues in the week off, but
Yeah.
it looks like there's another thing that they have to figure out. Onic now approaching the 7K gold lead mark at 8 minutes. This is definitely a worse situation they were in game 1. AP Bren, at least there's some space for Shizo. He will be able to farm up top.
Yeah, that's all he can afford to do as they lose more of their outer turrets.
Oh.
Yeah. Savero has that massive lead over Shizo. He's on his way to his 3rd main item after the endless battle and the Hunter's Strike. Shizo still trying to catch up, doesn't have the Trinity just yet. In terms of the utility items that AP Bren has, they don't even have like Dom Isis on board. They do have the glowing wand for Aqua, but they need a little bit more damage now to come out of that Juicin. Nova had to build the Radiant Armor first. There are a lot of constant magic damage sources he has to deal with through the Kimi, even the Basha with the Tortoise's Puissance. But then at this point, you're also lacking anti-physical damage. You're gonna need to build up anti-Karasus really quickly at this point because Savero's at that damage threshold, 7,000 plus gold, already built up the Malefic Roar.
Yeah, at least they're holding on to their tier 1 in mid. At least they still have that. But that's about it, because Onic, I doubt they think twice about even blitzing this Lord because of with a 7K gold lead.
There is no contest. AP Bren have to get the most out of the time that they know Onic is taking the Lord. So that's farm up top, farm in mid. They're managing the waves. They'll allow it to crash through. The mid is their margin. The mid is their border. Look at this. Kirk in the back line. Front line. Nova's fighting.
Yep, the grab. Oh, but Severo has a flicker and he just brought him deep in enemy territory now. AP Bren are split up. And KVJ has nowhere to run.
Yeah, that was desperate. I think LVJ didn't realize that AP Bren can't back him up there. Great flicker out by Severo. Total outplay. Onic are on the way to sweeping this.
This is a much better setup. Oh, look at that two-man set coming from Brusco. It's James Pence who actually gets taken out first. Nova falling next. Aqua and Shizo left alone. What can you do? All your frontliners are gone.
Usually not a move I would suggest, but flickering and ulting underneath the tier 1 when you're up 9,000, 8,000 is a good thing. Look at this. Onic
Tabrakin aja Aquanya.
Aqua still wanted to fight that even despite the presence of the Lord. I mean, the death timers are relatively low, but...
Yeah, I don't think they're realizing just how chunky and unstoppable this back show of King Kong is at this point.
He's thick with 6 Cs.
Yep. It's Chastised Pauldron, Cursed Helmet, Radiant Armor. The Super Fam are back and in a different shade of it.
Yeah.
Fast, dominating, but more calculated and deadly.
You know what? The last time we saw them in this farm was when they won in Season 14. Where they almost went undefeated. Remember that?
Yeah.
We don't talk about Golden Mash anymore, but do you remember that? They used to play fast as well. They used to end games sub 12.
Yeah.
Call it a lightning round. They're on their way.
Oh,
that's a kick.
Oh, but that's a beautiful setback coming in from Nova.
Wow!
Severo once again.
What a pick and what a kick!
How'd they find Clayton?
I don't...
That was all Nova.
sulit,
That
bro,
was
kalau
all
flicker.
Nova.
Wait, was he alone up
That was a
top?
perfect read. I think he was in that pixel bush or just slightly out of it. Nova read it, decided to go for the kick because the animation of the flicker kick was in that bush. So I think he just read that
Was that
really well.
All instinct?
Looks like it. I'm gonna have to go back.
It happened so fast.
It happened thrice this series.
Nova.
It's always
Okay,
been.
that was
Severo-
slick.
No, for Nova at least it happened twice. Like he's always been really the guy to find those pickoffs against against Severo, but okay.
So far, the item game between the Leomord and the Baksha is not a fair comparison. James Pax has been living off of alms. This man is on a calorie deficit if you were looking at farm as food. All this while, King Kong is playing the best Baksha game one could hope for.
Yeah, okay. So what happened was Nova was concealed and Severo just walked up. He didn't expect, or I don't think he even saw that Nova was there Jeet Kundoing outside of the last tower in the top
Lord
lane.
yang kedua ya bang ya.
Probably doesn't change the fact that Onic still get to blitz this Lord though.
Yep.
Still no room for AP Bren to contest at all.
And what's more difficult is I think this lineup that they have is worse on the defense compared to the first one. They don't have the long range, they have crowd control, they don't have the damage just yet. Shizo is only level 12.
Wave clear is
Sangat
abysmal.
Karena bedanya jauh banget
You
bang.
have to find
Mau
that
tabrakin juga
pickoff
bingung tuh.
before the defense even
Oh my
happens.
god. Is this possibly the worst wave clear you could have on the back foot? Because even a Selena could, like Selena mid could clear better than this.
It's just a Moskov. Just a Moskov and a bit from the Jushin Leomord.
I think I'll still take the... Now this is just pretty bad.
Yang PG.
It's going to be a really bad wave clear sitch. It's going to be tough.
They're gonna lose at least 2 inhibitors.
Yeah, 2 inhibitors, maybe 2 bodies.
Because even that base turret up top is already down super low, even with the presence of the Holy Shields earlier.
Look, it's a 4-level gap between Kirk and KVJ.
Now 3.
It's tough times.
Mountain Shocker.
That's it.
Yeah.
Top turret gets tickled. Bottom lane goes down. She's in trouble.
Let's see how long AP Bren is able to hold out. Guardian Helmet pickup from King Kong as well, and they still have the Lord marching up top.
You have to wait for
Window
minion waves.
nature from Super Friends. At least AP Bren has enough time.
Yeah, they
So,
sacrifice
for a
all
prince,
inhibitors
for a prince.
to buy time. Kirk gets choked up.
Oh, Nova doesn't get to connect the way of the dragon in time, and now he might just get punished. Severo though! Severo! He's getting chased! Still has the Traceless, and it's a double for Super Prince instead! And now it's all KLPJ alone, and a triple for Super Prince!
Buset.
AP Bren! They saw this coming! The Super Fam are going to take the sweep against the
GG guys
Hive!
ya. Clean sweep guys.
The break did well.
Oke lah, kita lanjut aja buat match selanjutnya bro ya.